Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, the case of the entitled wedding guest, lost reservation and a lesson in humility. The second story, Christmas shopping nightmare. EM tries to steal, assaults me, and claims I'm the thief. The third story, VP's epic fail, how one company lost its best talent. The first story is, there are no comps for idiocy, and I'm happy to tell him that. My property is peculiar. We're a boutique hotel, a seasonal private club for members and hotel guests, and an event/wedding venue. For the past year, I've been concierge, which at this property means do everything, no complaints. Technically, I'm only supposed to work with the bridezillas, but I've been picking up more hotel responsibilities because I'm a glutton for punishment. This ended with me running the hotel for 3.5 months this winter, due to the fact that the hotel manager is seasonal, and I'm the only year-round employee that knows the hotel and can do reservations and audit. Yay! Last week kicked off our wedding season, which means 2 weddings each day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Due to the fact that our venue is considered a luxury wedding spot, all of our hotel guests are super entitled. Other important notes, my property only has 12 rooms, and we are expensive. We do not offer room blocks or discount rates for our weddings. See before when I mentioned we're a luxury property. I'll be MTM and dude will be Angry Man. AM. I'm here to check in. I'm attending the so-and-so wedding. MTM. May I have the name on the reservation, please? AM. Angry Man. MTM. I'm so sorry, but I don't have a reservation under that name. Was the room reserved on your behalf by someone else? AM. No, I booked this months ago. It's under my name and for the so-and-so wedding. MTM. I'm not sure where the mix-up is, but we'll figure it out. Can I have your reservation number? AM. I have no idea. I don't have my confirmation letter with me because I figured a property like this would be organized enough to keep their reservations straight. AM is getting worked up at this point, and he keeps slapping his hands against my desk. His wife AMW is behind him, muttering, I know this is where the wedding is, I just know it, over and over. MTM. I'm sure it's just a paperwork mistake. Hint, it's not. I call the hotel manager out to the front desk to help me calm these confused guests, because the reservation isn't in our system, nor is it in the one OTA we use, and I'm at the end of my rope. As manager comes out to do damage control, AMW yells, well, is this where the so-and-so wedding is or not? MTM. Yes, it's this evening, but I don't see a reservation under your name for tonight. AM. I know I have a reservation. I got the 3 nights for the price of 2 deal. You took money from me already, so you better find my reservation. MTM. Sir, I'm sorry, but our property does not have packages or discounts, so I'm not sure that you've booked with our property. Luckily, before AM and AMW have a further breakdown, manager suggests that they go into her office and log into AM's email, so he can find his confirmation. I take advantage of this opportunity to call the B&B down the street, and it goes something like this. Hey there, this is OP from Fancy Hotel and Club. Do you happen to have a reservation for Angry Man? B&B lady. Yes, I do. MTM. Fantastic. He's at my front desk freaking out about us not being able to find his reservation. I hope he's nicer to you than he has been to me. B&B lady. Oh God, one of those. Thanks for the heads up. There are no comps for idiocy, and I'm happy to tell him that. MTM. Haha, that's fantastic. I'm sending him your way. Prepare yourself. After I got off the phone, I popped my head into manager's office where AM was scowling at the computer screen, still not logged into his email, and announced, Great news. I called B&B down the street and they have your reservation. They're expecting you any time now. I'd love to say that Angry Man and his wife were grateful and thanked me, but in reality they grumbled their way out of my lobby, complaining under their breath about how long it took me to figure out their reservations, which were not at my hotel. This is my last week at this property, as I've scored myself an amazing assistant manager position at a coastal property a couple of 100 miles north of my current property, and I start next week, so I'm sure this is just the beginning. This story just goes to show how inconsiderate and aggressive some guests can be. This man, instead of calmly and politely handling the situation, insulted you and tried to pressure you, even when his reservation was not in your system. But what's even more interesting is that this story also shows that other hotel employees understand and sympathize when you're dealing with such annoying guests. The reaction of the woman from B&B down the street is really worth noting. She expressed what many people think, namely that you cannot be compensated for unreasonable inconvenience and uncivilized behavior. You have a great reason for planning to leave this job and accept the new offer. We wish you a successful start at your new job, and fewer annoying guests in the future. The second story is, EM tried to walk off with my mom's Christmas gifts, injured me, and then claimed I stole her items. I honestly can't believe that this just happened, but here we go. I was online shopping this morning when I saw these gorgeous outdoor Christmas lights at really great prices at a local store. My mother loves Christmas, but she's never had the money or time to put any lights up, but she longed to have some. I decided that as an early Christmas present, that I would get her some that she could be proud of. I purchased some great deals online, like some light-up reindeer, her favorite, some colorful string lights, with the colors red, green, white, blue, and purple, a snowflake-shaped light, and some light-up candy canes for a candy cane lane. I ordered them, paid with my credit card, and was actually able to pick them up in the store the same day. All for less than $100, a total steal. When I get there, I see there's a long line at customer services, so I decided to browse for a bit. I ended up getting a super great deal on a pair of dripping icicle lights, the buy one get one free deal. I then added a strand of light-up garland, so she could decorate inside with more than just the tree. I know it's a lot, but I made good money from doing remote lab work at my university, and since I had more than enough saved up for tuition, decided to spoil my family after such a rotten year. What I got for my siblings, dad, and grandparents are not related to this event. So I go pay, and sure enough, the line at customer service is a lot shorter. I get in line, wait maybe 20 minutes, and when I'm at the counter, I presented my email proving proof of purchase, but it takes a bit for her to scan the QR code as the device is apparently not reading it. I got no problem with that, because hey, things happen, when suddenly my own cart is slammed into my side. See, what I did was put myself between my cart and the exit. I've read one too many horror stories of people just running off with other purchases, that I wanted to play it safe, and it kinda worked. Except for the fact that I'm now in a lot of pain because my own cart was rammed right into my hip bone and knee, knocking me over to the floor and nearly making me whack my head. And the crazy lady who did that then tried to push my own cart over me, all while screaming, I kid you not, "You stupid little thief." This lady was literally trying to sell that I stole her cart. Needless to say, I'm super peeved and super in pain. Security is called, I'm screaming at the lady to stop lying and give me back my cart, and then I ended up detained. Why? Sadly, she was black and I was Caucasian, in a time of all this racism craziness. Now before you start on that whole "you're racist SH, I'm not. I couldn't care less if that lady was an alien or had purple skin, or was the Queen of England herself. I treat others by how they treat me, and she was stealing my gifts from my mother and claiming I was the thief. Angry, I then twisted out of the security guy's hold, ripped the receipt out of my pocket and shoved it in his face. "I have the receipt, you insert a really nasty insult." He's startled, steps back and stares at the receipt, and I snap at him that he needs to get a pair of glasses, because skin color or not, I have the receipt. That B doesn't. Now call me a D-ambulance because I can't take the bus home from how in pain my body was from being rammed by my own cart. An older security guard, a manager, and the head honcho's supervisor come over, and the older guard started berating the younger guy for jumping to conclusions. Again, apparently. The manager checks my receipt, and sure enough, it's all mine, and the crazy lady has no receipt. Of course, then the lady starts wailing about how I must have stolen her receipt, only to have it pointed out that I had used my points card for that store, which was on the receipt, and they could match to my ID. They also had CCTV of me with all my items, buying them, and then her coming along and grabbing them and ramming me with my own cart. I then have to sit there on a bench with all my items. The customer service girl who struggled to get the QR code to scan returned my phone to me. I dropped it on the counter when I was hit, and started placing my items I had bought online into the cart, which had now been returned to me, while Crazy Lady was detained. Police and EMTs arrived not long after. Store actually wasn't that far from a hospital or a police station, and after the EMTs loaded me onto the stretcher, my ankle was badly twisted from being knocked over, and I wanted to go to the hospital just to be safe. I give my statement, press charges, before turning to the supervisor as he comes over. He's very apologetic, and asks if I want anything from the store for free as compensation for this disaster. I told him that all I wanted was for A, the idiot security guard to either be rigorously retrained in thinking for once or be fired. B, that I wanted them to hold on to my purchases until I could come back to pick them up. And C, that crazy lady, who is now screaming, "You'll hear from my son, he's a lawyer," which is how I know she's an EM, Be permabanned from their entire chain, because who knows if she's gotten away with it before or would do it again. The super agreed that it was more than fair. The security guy who detained me improperly looked horrified. And apparently Crazy Lady heard that and went deathly pale, before she fainted right then and there. I'm now sitting in a hospital bed, my ankle in a cast, the bones cracked, my left hip and knee in pain, my right elbow bruised, and having to call my grandparents to pick me up, because my family only has 2 cars, and my sister and dad are both at work, hence why I took the bus. What happened to me isn't right, no matter the skin color, and I'm going to be pressing charges. And I'm in Canada, so I can't make her pay my medical bill as it's covered by the provincial plan. Edit. I'm also a woman, sorry. What a bee. I'm a woman too, and I hate calling other women that word, but sometimes it's the only appropriate word. And I hope her lawyer's son tells her about the aggravated assault and theft, and how much trouble she's in. And that D security guard is obviously a dummy at the very least, for not noticing that one person is clearly hurt, and should be the first place to defuse the situation and get help. I know it's wrong, but I hope he gets fired. I hope your recovery goes smoothly, and wish you all the best. You're a loving daughter for buying all those things for your mom. Also, the arrogance of some pieces of SH, some of them use all this racist drivel to get away with crimes. I really hope someday we see a society without racism for everyone. Blacks, whites, Asians, everyone. Yes, even whites are victimized by racism, and I just can't stand people who abuse it. It's just not fair to the real victims. The third story is VP of my company SH himself in the foot. I've been with the company F for almost 4 years, and I love what I do. My coworkers are great people and management is fine as well. I'm very grateful that they gave me a chance when no one else would, but I'm on my 2nd week of my 2-week notice. Why, you ask? Because our VP is an out-of-touch a-hole, who's also a misogynistic pig. I didn't like the VP from the moment I met him my first week. He came off as a know-it-all with a hint of superiority. He would interject himself into meetings he had no business being at, and go on lengthy tangents about things that had nothing to do with the said meeting. He's the kind of person who every time would tell us grunts how his whole family is home, and that he has to work from his lake house. He bought Samsung tablets that never worked properly. He thought that he was doing us a kindness gifting us coloring books and pencils, but tell us we're not allowed to color at our desks. On to the reason I decided to leave. We had yet another pointless meeting to which he had decided to be a part. He started going on about how grateful he is to us, and how awesome of a job we're doing, but he feels that we aren't doing enough. He gave us a list of future experiences, and it looked like he was trying to eliminate 2 other departments and put that work on us. And then the topic of raises came up. Keep in mind we haven't had any since 2019. He decided to tell us that beyond our merit increase in March, raises are off the table, because we're making the market fair wages, and he will not discuss that with us anymore. That already visibly irritated quite a few of the participants. What was a real cherry on the cake when he decided to summon all of his testicular fortitude and tell us, a bunch of women, that we are setting a poor example when we're sitting in our cars, putting on makeup and brushing our hair, because we aren't ready for work yet. At that point, I just left the team's meeting. Long story short, that same day I applied for a few jobs, and very next week I had an offer from Company T for a higher hourly rate and a lot less work. I also looked at the job posting at the Company F, and needless to say, the open position tripled since last week. The moral of the story is, don't tell your overworked and underpaid staff that they're making enough, because they'll find something better. Cool, OP, you did what you had to do, but I would encourage you to keep going. Make sure you write a letter to the CEO, and let him know why you're leaving and why jobs are opening up like crazy, and it's all the fault of the VP, who turned out to be a completely unselfish jerk. Contact the VP's boss and let him or her know what happened in the meeting, and that no one likes to be talked to like that. Give your VP a farewell gift to the already existing layoff of a dozen employees. Hit the like button to support the channel and subscribe. Have a good day.